I want to begin by thanking the class of 2019 for inviting me to speak this evening. It truly is an honor, and I'm excited to have the chance to share one more lesson with you. What I'm hoping to do here is to provide a structure on which you can evaluate and guide your own growth. Of course, this lesson is not limited to the future graduates sitting here. We all believe in lifelong learning. In fact, most people in this room are in the midst of a transition, which is a great time to reflect over one's past and begin to peek into the future. A big reason for my love of math is because I enjoy thinking about the structure of things and how they change. Geometry provides an excellent starting place to begin this analysis. To get you thinking about shapes, I would like for you to answer the following question, which I asked my students on their spring final. In your opinion, which figure or shape is most pleasing? So which figure or shape is most pleasing? How many of you thought of a square or a circle? These are popular answers. Personally, I love the useful nature of these figures, but they are too predictable to provide a meaningful structure for something as complex as human development. Perhaps you chose a three-dimensional figure, a cube or a sphere. These are more complex, but again, too predictable to reflect the beautiful diversity of human life. That said, I do believe a sphere provides a good starting place. Please take a moment to imagine one right now. Think of the center of the sphere and associate it with your center, a place where you feel most you. For me, that center includes both math and psychology. Many people are surprised when they learn that I teach both subjects. Frankly, I couldn't imagine one without the other. Math provides the framework for understanding our world, and psychology is the part of the world I care a lot about, how people think and behave. More specifically, psychology provides us with concepts we can use to measure ourselves. In geometry, these measures can be represented by a segment. So take a moment to imagine a segment where one endpoint is labeled extrovert and the other is labeled introvert. Put an X on that segment that best describes you. Did you put the X in the middle? Are you more towards one end or the other? Maybe you land right on one of the endpoints. Now, I would like you to imagine another segment. This time, the X on the segment indicates where you lie on the continuum of conscientiousness. Do you tend to run on your own schedule and choose your own deadlines? Or do you arrive at your destination early, always with your work completed thoroughly? Perhaps you lie in between these two extremes. Think about where your X is for conscientiousness. All right, so now do you remember where you put the X on your introvert-extrovert segment? Do me a favor and imagine linking the two segments where the X is located. Now you have a three-dimensional figure that is beginning to represent you. Do we all match? I doubt it. Does anyone match? Likely. But we are individuals, aren't we? Unique. Time to imagine another segment, another continuum. How about this time we mark an X on a segment, which indicates our openness, our willingness to play with new ideas and visit new places. Some people tend to prefer routine, while others are always looking for something new. Where's your X this time? Now connect this segment for openness with your other two segments. Got it? For those of you who chose the midpoint of the segment each time, you're beginning to create an actual sphere. For the rest of us, we are creating some sort of transformation of a sphere. The reason I like this model is because an infinite number of segments can share one point, our personal center. There's a segment for your tendency to be silly, one for your love of horror movies, another for the sweetness of the foods you prefer. Endless. These segments do not have to represent polar opposites either. We can create segments that measure our age, how many siblings we have, the number of miles college is from home. I'm proud to say that one way to describe my shape is that it's an Elgin Academy shape. Because of the fractal nature of life, you are as well. I suspect you will notice this about yourself. If not now, then after a few weeks at college, when the newness begins to wear off a little. You may start looking for those with an Elgin Academy shape. When this happens, be sure and call home, contact your friends, and reach out to previous teachers. This community will always be here for you. But do know you are already changing during your first semester. When you return home from winter break, you may be surprised at how you compare with your high school self. What will be different? What will be the same? I would like to encourage you to revisit this model at that time. Take a look at the new continuums that you never anticipated embracing. Determine if you lost any segments because they no longer matter. Ask yourself how your X's are shifting or not shifting. Continue to reflect and grow throughout your life. It's a gift we all can open. Thank you for taking the time to imagine with me tonight. I do have one more thing to say. I would like you to know that I will be missing honors convocation on Friday because I'll be at a wedding of a family friend. So the next time I get to see you is at graduation. Thank you again for this opportunity.